I do think that it was a lot more, it wasn't as structured. And I mean, it was very structured, but it wasn't the way I thought it was going to be. It was very much, okay, here are the tools, go out and use them, you know? Right. It was very stressful at the beginning because I didn't know how. But then as you work your way through the course and you use the experiences from your teaching sessions and you see what your fellow students are doing, and it all starts to come together. It all starts to gel, and all of a sudden you realize, oh, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do with this, and then you can start incorporating it into your lesson, and then you feel better about what you have been doing. Your lesson gets better. You feel more confident. The students are learning. You're learning from them. You're learning from your teachers, and it's like this great sort of. I think about the Arc de Triomphe in Paris, where all these cars are just coming in and going around, and it doesn't make any sense, but you may have to go around once or twice, but then you find where you got to go, and it all works.
I'm not sure about what I'm going to do next, even if I'm going back to the United States to teach for 1 extra year Spanish. So I could go to other countries, and I knew I could teach other languages, like English or French, but for English at least you need a TEFL certificate, so I was hesitating about doing a TEFL in Denver or doing a CELTA in Europe, and finally I managed to do the CELTA in here during the summer. Plus any tips that I could learn in the CELTA program, I could use them in another classroom environment, whether in Spanish or in a French classroom, etc.
Actually, I was working as a teacher, but I needed a proof of my basic skills to do so in Germany, went back to Germany.
Okay. And when did you hear about CELTA?
One person, I applied for a job as a teacher for a company, and she recommended me through the CELTA course, no matter where, but just to have a proof, a certificate, particularly when bigger companies would like to see a proof that you are able, so you're marketable on the teacher market. To be honest with you, in the beginning I was very nervous, and I mean I taught 3 years before, but it was different because I was focusing now on teaching language to students, and there were adults as well. It makes a big difference, but they are in class by their own will, and I enjoyed it. I feel so much comfortable now hearing myself speaking another language, teaching them, and so it's very, very rewarding.
For technical subjects, it's kind of often a fire hose approach where you're just transmitting as much information as you possibly can, as fast as you can, and people keep up or they don't. And teaching people who don't know a language is extremely different, especially at the lower level, because you're trying to get them to try to speak the words that you take for granted, and you're trying to elicit language, phrases, vocabulary that you've never, for me, I'd never even thought about it. It's just such a different kind of educational perspective or view of things. Extremely different. And even at the intermediate levels for me were I enjoyed that, I think, a little bit better, because it's maybe a little closer because you're actually doing more talking together with people who have some vocabulary and some ability to form sentences. But surprisingly, both groups in this environment were highly motivated, and I think over time you start to learn to give the students more credit for what they can do if you're doing your part the way you need to do it. And I think the teaching techniques here have been invaluable. The instructors have been excellent. It's a new program, so there's little things that are coming together. But I think over the course of the first program, I think this was excellent. For me, it was exactly what I was expecting, and I would recommend it if you feel interested in a challenge of a different sort, coming from a place like I've come from. But for all sorts of people who are interested in educating. Many of the students here came with some experience of teaching younger children, or doing some form of teaching that's maybe in a little bit more similar vein. And so they had a little bit of a leg up, but in reality, the techniques here were applicable to everybody, and everybody was having to come to speed quickly, but with the support of the staff and with the support of each other. The group was very good. The other learners who were learning to become teachers were very good support people in all respects, I think.